Do you really need to file a tax return in Germany? Yeah, that's a big question. A lot of our clients ask if they come to Germany, stay longer in Germany, and some of them have different incomes. So, first of all, do you have to file a tax return in Germany, and what do you have to know about it? First of all, the legal filing obligations are normally this case that you say if you have more than one income, which is not tax deducted by someone else, for example, the German banks or, for example, an employer, then you have to do a tax return to file your taxes. For example, multiple incomes like you're employed at a German automotive business. Then you have, for example, a bank in USA where you get dividends, shares, something like this. And then third wise, for example, you have property to rent. So rental income and more incomes, then yeah, you have to. If you're just an employee where the employer takes money and gives it to the Finanzamt, then you have to do nothing. But it might also be very good. Then, for example, tax class 35 or 4 with factor, then you have to do tax return. Freelancers, self-employed, government benefits receivers, and foreign incomes, there you have to go and have to do it. But the most important thing is, if you're just an employee, and your employer is taking care of all your tax things, then you can do a tax return. Because often it's like, for example, there's my MacBook, for example, different hardware I use for my work. Then you can say, okay, I paid this on my own, for example, a little bit of education, for example, some private insurance things I have to do, or for example, you have the way to work, say, okay, per kilometer you can around about 30 cents, you can deduct. And then you say, okay, yeah, it might be a good thing to do a tax return. And so you can go to a tax advisor, for example, like me, and they, hey, I want to do my tax return. And then we can do it together. And for example, it's also if you're a student or you have some special incomes for 1 year or short-term unemployment periods, then it might be very good. Or for example, if you just, for example, a half year in Germany, then it always gets calculated up to the whole year. And there's ages to where they're half a year, and then you can say, okay, then you get a tax return. This is one of the points where you can say, okay, you should do a voluntary filing cases. But the most thing is refund statistics, mostly employees. That's the typical refund. The refund is around about 1,000 euros, and it will take up to 4 to 8 weeks. Then you get your money. And if you don't file your tax returns and you have to do it, then there's, for example, late filing penalties, assessments, lost refunds, legal notices, or for example, audit risks, and all this. This might be one of the points here where you can say, not so good. So better just, for example, book a meeting down below, and then we can talk about your tax filing in Germany in 2025, in 2026 for 2025.